This is the Popular Apocrypha Podcast, Episode 11, Snow White, Cinderella, and the Little Mermaid, for November 13th, 2017. Welcome to the Popular Apocrypha Podcast. This is the Stranger Things episode today.
What?
Do you know why?
What? You wish it was a Stranger Things episode?
No, it's a Stranger Things episode today.
You tricked us!
No, because it's episode number 11.
It's a content joke.
Yes. Daniel's...
Well, I can't fit the hole. Mistakes were made.
Man, that's some quality audio right there. I can't fit into the hole.
Just a strain.
Isolated.
I can't get in the hole. So today, we're going to be talking about a fairy tale princess trilogy of Snow White, Cinderella, and the Little Mermaid. Whew. But first, we are happy to say that this episode is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook and 30-day free trial by going to audibletrial.com/popapoc. That's POPAPOC. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. So, let me introduce who's all around me today. I'm Logan, your host. You go next, to my right. You, and you. All right, we're done.
My name is Hugo.
Hugo?
My name
Weavings?
Yep. No,
Chavez?
Hugo. Yep.
That's blading.
Illuminati. They're the same person.
Hugo Illuminati?
Yep.
Step your badass.
You go, Illuminati. You go, man.
I'd have the feeling though you'd be on everyone's watch list from that point on.
As if we're not already.
You're assuming that we're doing things that would put us on a watch list.
I don't know what you're talking about. My name's Tyler.
Anyway.
And I'm half asleep today. My name's Daniel.
I'm Riley.
Riley.
Oh, Batman. Now the bane comes out.
That's for a later podcast.
Yeah.
That's for a later, 6-episode story arc.
No, that's
podcast.
when we finally get to the Batman one that Riley won't allow us to do.
That's going to be the 24-hour stream one.
Yeah.
I can go for that long.
Yeah,
I can fight you guys for that long.
Extra Life 2018. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So to start us off and give a little backstory to the audience on the characters that we'll be improving today, who will be Snow White, Cinderella, and the Little Mermaid, so Ariel. I'm going to ask you all some questions about the characters and their stories. So your answers will be any combination of all three. So what they have in common.
Oh.
So I'll ask the first one. just to get a little flavor. So the antagonist is female. In which of the stories is the antagonist female? And this would apply to both the Disney adaptation and the original story. But it'll depend on the question, so...
Isn't it all three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all three.
It's all three.
Okay.
So there you go.
Ooh, one for one.
So some of these may be any combination, maybe only one of them, maybe two of them, maybe all three, maybe none of them.
It's going to be hard.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot who the people for the podcast were today for about 3 seconds there.
Who's recording the podcast?
No.
Not Stan.
No.
Who are these people in this room?
The characters in which we're talking about, I forgot.
Oh. You're female protagonist, antagonist. I don't even know what we're talking about. It's when your mind blanks on the test.
What's my name?
What's
the date?
Today's date is...
So, BT Dubs, why did we choose Ariel, by the way? I was wondering about that.
I think we tried to do some chronological. I don't know. I feel in the series of princesses, or because we did Sleeping Beauty, Ariel.
Snow White, Cinderella, and...
Snow White, Cinderella,
Ariel.
Ariel. So yeah, I think it was chronologically. I'm not sure.
No, I feel like Ariel is kind of the odd one out there.
Yeah. I think she just had some to work with. Oh.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Maybe it was because they all had female antagonists?
Could be. I don't know. Anyway.
I think we were just brainstorming about I think it was because we said Sleeping Beauty, and then we were oh wait, we could just maybe if she was awake, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
needed more context.
Or not stupid.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Not
talk about
prick
a
her hand on the
character who's asleep
spindle.
for like
Yeah, just
80% of the
don't
film.
do that.
Yeah.
Right. A character that's just gone for most of the
Don't
movie.
trust a green-skinned witch.
I would think that movie would be better if she was awake.
Whoa,
the
don't be
entire time.
racist, Logan.
Oh, okay. Don't trust a witch.
There we go.
God.
Doesn't matter what her skin color is. Okay, anyway, I digress. Okay, next question. So any combination of the three we're going here.
Yeah.
Their original story was featured in The Brothers Grimm.
I think
Was that all three?
both except for Ariel, right?
No, I think it was Ariel and Cinderella.
And I know that Snow White was, or at
Really?
least I think it was. See, now I'm second guessing myself.
I think it's Ariel and Cinderella.
I know
Because
Cinderella is. for
Cinderella
sure.
didn't end happy because
No.
the stepsisters got their tongues cut out or whatever.
The birds came and protected
Right.
Cinderella and pecked out the sister's eyes.
and then Ariel, she ended up not getting with the prince and like dying.
I mean, you don't all have to have the same answers.
Okay, I say Cinderella and Ariel.
I'm gonna go Snow
Final
White and
guess.
Cinderella.
I'm gonna
What
make
about you, Dan?
the clicky noise.
Snow White and Ariel.
It is Snow White and Cinderella.
Ah.
Little Mermaid was written by Hans Christian Andersen. A little later on, so.
Oh yeah. Stupid.
Okay, so, here, next question.
It took me a second to figure out that I actually got that right.
You were looking at me
You
like,
get it right.
I was like, wait, was that you or me?
It hasn't been abundant. Everyone's going through everyone's mind right now. Just,
Just tumbleweed goes across. Okay, next question. In the original story, so not the Disney version, the antagonist attempts to kill the main character.
in the original story.
In the original story. Which ones, or none at all? That is also an option.
Oh boy. The antagonist attempts to kill
Attempts
the
to
main.
kill the main character.
So like themselves, or they have someone else do it?
Either or.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my answer same as last time. Both except for Ariel. I'm gonna say that Hans
I'm gonna
Christian
go with
Andersen was like, nah.
I'm
it's
gonna go
chill.
with Snow White and Ariel on that one.
Cinderella. Nah, Cinderella and Snow White.
Okay, it was just Snow White.
What?
What?
The other two, the antagonist does not try to kill the main character.
Okay.
They try to hold them up,
We do.
Interesting.
like give them more jobs.
So Cinderella's just like,
Cinderella.
they're pretty chill. Let's just
Right.
like work her to death, but
Yeah.
we won't like cause her to die.
Right.
Okay.
So the villain in Little Mermaid was in the actual story itself, or was that a Disney thing?
She had a bigger role in the Disney movie, but she
Ursula?
was definitely in it
Oh,
in
okay.
the original. Yeah, the Sea Witch. She didn't have a name though.
She didn't have a solo either.
That's true.
That's a cool
Poor
song,
unfortunate-
man.
Oh, I should have introduced you guys to my poor unfortunate souls. Man,
Like Flotsam and Jetsam
yep.
and Steve.
They straight up get Steve.
Yeah, because like the Lion King has the 3 hyenas. You gotta have the third hyena that's just like, or the third, electric eel that's out there.
That's just somewhere.
Yeah, we don't know where Steve
Off
went.
screen.
Just Steve is like one that's so derped out. Just
Okay, so next question. Okay, in the animated Disney adaptation,
Okay.
the main character is friends with talking animals.
Wait, in Disney?
In the Disney version, yes. In the Disney animated version. Because there was a live action Disney
It's all
version
three.
of Cinderella.
Yeah.
No, I think it's Ariel and
Cinderella.
wait.
So in the
Did
cartoon
they
version.
actually talk or just make anthropomorphic sounds?
Mine is Ariel.
Huh?
And Cinderella.
All three. All three.
I'm gonna go with
Okay.
just Ariel.
Do you play the
It
music
was
now?
Ariel and Cinderella.
That was my backup.
Because in Snow White they don't actually talk.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't
I
talk.
remember
She
that.
talks to them.
Okay.
They don't talk back.
Define friendship.
No,
He said
it's
talks.
talking animals. Specifically
Oh,
not
talking
talking.
animals.
They actually vomit words.
I didn't read the question closely.
Okay. In the original fairy tale, the main character does not end up with a prince at the end.
Ariel.
Yeah, I'm gonna go just Ariel.
Yeah, just Ariel.
Just Ariel?
Ariola.
It's just Ariel.
Okay. Yeah, we win, guys.
Yeah.
I am 2 for 6.
I have no idea what I'm at. I have not. Was I supposed to keep track?
I haven't been keeping track either. I don't know. This is just to kind of introduce a little
is a
backstory to
gentleman's
the
game.
audience.
Lightning round.
Yeah. Okay.
We all got participation trophies.
Yay!
Yeah, millennials.
That's definitely the cop out. Is like you do a lightning round where all the points, like you could win, like anyone could win in a lightning round.
Yeah.
That's your way of saying I wasn't keeping track.
Or like, last question is for all the beans. Yeah, all the marbles. Okay. In both versions, so the original and the Disney adaptation, the protagonist kills the antagonist.
Ooh. In both versions, huh?
Protagonist being Snow White, Cinderella, and Ariel.
Okay.
Or
None of
Little
them.
Mermaid. So that's your answer?
That's my answer. None of them.
Snow White will be my answer.
Like kills, like dead.
Like kills like dead. Yes.
Murder, death, kill.
That's how
Murder,
death works.
They are dead.
I agree with Tyler. None.
Say none of them? It is none of them.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
3 for 8.
They're actually very passive.
There can be miracles.
Okay. Well, speaking of kind of which, there is magic.
Wait, what?
Magic.
Which one?
Oh, there is magic is the question.
It's all three.
Wait. Ariel and Cinderella, not Snow White.
All 3.
It is all three.
Yeah, because
There's a magic mirror.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about the magic.
I mean,
I was thinking just the apple.
if you really want to split hairs, the whole apple thing could also be.
She also
considered
turns into
magic.
an old lady.
Yes.
I thought that was just disguising yourself. Was that also magic?
But she's
She's
magic.
was
really
magic
good at
in the movie.
prosthetics.
Yeah.
She's A+ makeup
She is a makeup artist, yeah.
She does a YouTube tutorial. And this is how I
Okay,
apply the
guys.
false nose.
This is how I'm gonna trick that stupid girl down the street.
In the forest.
More on my vlog on my second channel.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
that would be a really funny YouTube channel. Is someone or like a group of people being modern day YouTuber Disney people.
Disney villains.
Or Disney villains or protagonists, like
Her one
being
channel's
Snow
the
White.
makeup one, and then her other one's how you poison an apple.
I definitely follow the
Snow
Captain
White.
Hook vlog.
Snow White is like a lifestyle / housekeeping / cooking channel.
Ah,
Yeah.
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 Does she still live with all the dwarves?
Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to our polygamy colony.
Jeez.
Modernize it.
Okay. In the Disney adaptation,
Sister wives.
magic is used for good.
Brothers.
No, it's husband.
Magic is used for
In
good.
the Disney adaptation, magic is used for good.
Oh golly.
This is kind of a general weird question, but
Oh no.
For good.
I feel like
Yes.
this one I could argue my
Cinderella?
answer.
Will be my answer.
just Cinderella?
Ursula did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Daniel. Just Cinderella.
Just Cinderella?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll fight it. It's gonna be all 3.
It is Cinderella and the Little Mermaid.
How is it the Little Mermaid?
Because King Triton turns her into a human at the end.
Oh, see, I don't remember that.
But for Snow White, her voice is magic. Yeah. Can you sing and draw animals to you?
Would you say that
All
like,
Disney princesses do.
Yeah.
So-
Every single one.
It's a passive AOE.
So I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that Fiona from Shrek has a magical
She's not a Disney
voice.
princess.
She makes birds explode. Can you make birds explode with your voice?
No, but I'm not saying that that's magical either.
Then what is it?
I think it's a natural ability that's incredibly impressive.
I will
Hey,
say,
maybe Celine Dion can.
Man,
I
that
don't know.
enthralling magic is great.
I think Giselle from Enchanted did have a magic voice. Because that was very much played on.
That was
Anyway, next question.
I got that.
So basically, they're like
question
sound
right.
vampires.
Huh?
Speaking of
Sound
vampires,
vampires. They make a thrall out of just singing instead of having to bite people's necks.
Disney princesses equals vampires confirmed.
Sound vampires.
Sound vampires.
need to get Van Helsing in here.
Yep. Illuminati confirmed.
Okay.
That's gonna be my joke the entire night.
Okay. In the original story,
Bruh.
so in the original fairy tale, there are pigeons who sniff out blood.
Pardon?
Just Snow White.
I'm gonna
There are specifically mentioned pigeons who sniff out blood.
I can go with Snow White.
go with Snow White as well.
Yeah.
That's messed up, dude.
Just Snow White?
Yeah.
It is not Snow White. It is only Cinderella.
What?
I knew it was one of the.
How does that fit into the story?
It is at the end. It's kind of a complicated. It's
Because they picked
that's right.
well because the prince comes in and
Yeah.
takes each of the stepsisters who cut off part
Yeah.
of their feet.
Yeah,
to
which were
fit
still
in the slipper.
bleeding.
And then apparently he doesn't notice, but the pigeons do and tell him, "There's blood all over the slipper there." And he's like, "Oh, but you must not be my princess." So he goes back.
The pigeons
And this
tell
happens
him?
twice. Yes. Yes.
Are they the pigeons from Valiant?
They're like magic birds.
Oh, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's blood all over her slipper.
I don't know.
Not about that movie. Oh my god.
What, Valiant?
Yeah.
Okay, the Disney animated adaptation won an Academy Award. Just Snow White?
Snow White and Ariel.
It has a movie name, by the way.
Excuse me.
Snow White and
Come on, man, you don't
Cinderella.
know LM.
Snow White and Cinderella.
Snow White and Cinderella.
Not Little Mermaid.
And you said...
Little Mermaid and Snow White.
Okay. Well, you were right. It is Snow White and Little Mermaid. They were all nominated, but only these two won.
Yeah, man.
And actually, for
That
Snow
Jamaican
White...
lobster singing. Whew.
For Snow White, it didn't technically win a regular category one, but they
It was
were
so
like...
new, right?
Well, yeah, there was like... We need to give this movie an award
Right.
because it is a...
Like revolutionary.
Yeah, in filmmaking. So they actually made an honorary award where they gave
awesome.
they gave him one big Oscar and 7 little Oscars.
What?
Oh my
That's
god.
amazing.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Super cool.
Man.
Yep, that's history for
You've
you.
been taught.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, and the last question. There's a healthy relationship between the girl and the guy.
That's a very
Wow.
subjective question, and
That one
none of
got
them.
you.
So your answer's none
Mine
of
is subjectively none of them.
I gotta go with him on that one.
them?
I'm gonna say Snow White.
Wait, which guy?
Yeah, that's why I said Snow White.
Because
The
dwarves.
prince. The
Oh.
prince.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, none of them.
It's none of them.
Yeah.
His short answer.
Okay, so how are we all doing today?
Who won?
Go ahead.
Wait, you have to decide who won. I think you won.
It's a question game where the points don't matter and it's all subjective.
I think the audience wins.
The blood sniffing pigeons one.
Yep,
Yep.
yeah, they did.
And the Academy Award goes to.
The
Blood
pigeons.
sipping bitch.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I check out the wedding website sometimes for my fiance and I, and it has like a counter on it. And I think last time I checked, it was like 50 days, and I got scared.
Ooh.
And you move into your new apartment 1 week from today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Cool.
Wow.
Next Friday.
Excited. I don't really have anything super new going on. Trying to get a, full-time job. Woo.
Woo.
Damn. I got nothing.
How's that Shadow of War going for you?
That good, huh?
Last night I ran into something that pissed me off, so I don't like talking about it.
That's usually how I deal
Salty.
with my problems too.
Just shove it down and...
Yeah.
Like
it
it went
come
from
up.
like a solid 9 to like a 6 on my radar.
I
The
don't even know what
game?
that
The
means.
whole game?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, right.
Wow.
Wham.
Well,
How are you, Logan?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Logan's been slicking back his hair and it looks really good.
Yeah.
It's because I don't want it in my eyes.
You look a little bit like, if it was a little bit poofier, you'd look a little bit like the guy from, what's his name? He's the babysitter in the second season of Stranger Things.
Oh, Steve?
Steve, yeah.
Steve? Okay,
you
I'll
look
take that as a
a
compliment.
little bit like Steve with your hair like
Did you
this.
hear that one of those actors actually came back to America and got caught with cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it kind of does.
But it's the one. I don't want to make this sound like it's weird, but it's the one where you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of expected that at some point.
That's be positive.
Moving on.
So I'm going to read a brief descriptions of each story just to get us started.
Ooh.
I don't know why I did that voice. So, Snow White was first published by the Brothers Grimm in 1812. It featured the beautiful Snow White, who is envied for her beauty by the evil queen, who attempts to kill her several times. Snow White befriends 7 dwarves and is eventually forced under by the Sleeping Death until awakened by a handsome prince and they live happily ever after, blah blah blah. This story has notably been adapted into the Disney animated film Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, but also more recent films like Snow White and the Huntsman, Sydney White, and Snow White, A Tale of Terror.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, there's like a Halloween version. It stars
What?
the famous people. I forget who though.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you look it up. It also has inspired many TV series such as Once Upon a Time and
Right.
the anime Snow White with the red hair.
What?
Mm-hmm.
There's a Snow White anime?
I don't know what it's about, but yeah.
Nor do we care to find out.
I haven't watched it. I mean,
You said Snow White, A Tale of Terror, right?
yes.
Yeah, that's got Sigourney Weaver and Sam Neill in it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's
Wow.
We need to have a movie section.
Wow.
Okay, so Cinderella possibly has Greek origins over 2,000 years ago, but the definitive version was also published in Grimm's Fairy Tales in 1812. The story consists of a girl who is delegated to housework by her stepmother, but sneaks off to a grand ball where she falls in love with the prince. While running away, she loses a slipper, and the prince uses that later to find her, and they live happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. The story has been adapted thousands of times, but most notably by Disney with the animated version in 1950 and the live-action version in 2015 starring Lily James. The story has become so iconic that a quote-unquote Cinderella story has become a common idiom used to describe someone going from humble beginnings to great fame or circumstances, especially in sports.
So basically underdog story.
Yeah, basically.
Rudy.
Upvote.
Upvote.
The little
vote.
The Little Mermaid was written by Hans Christian Andersen in 1837, telling the story of a young mermaid who wanted to become human so she could gain an eternal soul and marry a prince. In the end, she is forced to choose...
Whoa, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, I'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
In the end, she is forced to choose between her life and the prince's...
Fish don't have souls.
And chooses to sacrifice herself. In the Disney version in 1989, Ariel defeats Ursula, or I guess Prince Eric does technically, thus lifting the curse on her and allowing her to marry the prince as a human, living happily ever after. Besides this adaptation, The Little Mermaid has inspired various anime, movies, ballet, and a statue in Copenhagen.
Oh yeah, Copenhagen.
Yes. So the original story of The Little Mermaid features her, so it's the same curse as in the movie, where she has to give up her voice and have the prince fall in love with her. But then the prince falls in love with another girl and eventually marries her. But then the Little Mermaid's sisters say that they have made a deal with the sea witch by giving up all their hair. They get an enchanted knife, which Ariel, Little Mermaid, can use to kill the prince so that Ariel can become a Little Mermaid again from being a human. Otherwise, she would become sea foam and cease to exist because mermaids don't have eternal souls, but humans do.
Damn.
So at the end, Ariel chooses to save the prince, throw the knife into the sea, become sea foam, and then in the controversial ending, which Hans Christian
There's
Andersen...
two endings?
No. What happens after
the
that?
ending is controversial.
There's like you're talking the Disney or you're talking about the...
No, I'm talking the original version.
Well, I know, I'm saying there's the Disney version of how it ended, then there's the original.
Yeah, but after she becomes sea foam, she is basically taken up to the stars by celestial beings, and they tell her that since she has been selfless in her life by saving the prince, she can now have the opportunity to gain an eternal soul by doing good deeds for the next, I think, 300 years, and then she can gain a soul and enter literally the kingdom of God. Or like heaven.
Where is she doing this good deeds work?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how she does
She's
it.
just gracing the sandy shore.
Big constellation.
But yeah, that's the ending. And in fact, P.L. Travers, who famously wrote...
Travers. Love him.
Mary Poppins.
Oh.
She gave a critique of Hans Christian Andersen's ending there and says, "This final message is more frightening than any other presented in the tale. The story descends into a Victorian moral tales written for children to scare them into good behavior. Andersen, this is blackmail, and the children know it and say nothing. There's magnanimity for you."
Don't be a bad kid, you won't turn to sea foam.
Yeah.
Wow. Were they contemporaries?
No, P.L. Travers was way later than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Throwing shade from the future.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's the
Got
original
called
story.
out.
That's the one that differs the most from the Disney adaptation.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
Except for the blood pigeons.
Yes. And Cinderella, and she didn't have a glass slippers. I think she had gold slippers. That's right.
Fiberglass?
Yeah.
Fiberglass
Could be,
slippers.
Probably. Diamond slippers. Like Minecraft diamond slippers.
Ooh. They prevent fall damage.
Yeah. And also in the
Pyrex
original, she doesn't have a fairy godmother. She has doves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Uh-huh.
You could get a superpower, and we're not talking like it's not like a god tier superpower. It's something like teleportation or invisibility or something.
That seems god tier.
But god tier would be like One Punch Man levels of power. But you had to lose your voice like Ariel. Would you take that?
Probably not.
I mean, I could learn to sign.
Yeah, I would just learn sign language, for sure.
Be like a
we do live
Black
in the-
Bolt from the
Since we do live in
Humans.
the time in which you can have just type something out on your phone and show people, I mean...
We like to get the Stephen Hawking thing. the speak and say or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever he uses.
If you're a superhero, you just tape it to your chest, and that's your like symbol. It's just the type of talk. So where do we just do one at a time and like try to come around and do them all together, or?
I don't know. What do you guys feel like doing?
Ooh.
Wait, did we talk about Snow White?
I gave a description of him, but
So I just want to say,
Okay. What do you want to say?
it's better down where it's wetter.
that's
Take it from me.
I think we need to
That was the
keep.
most confusing chat I've ever seen.
I think we need to
I-
keep a few specific things.
Okay.
Blood pigeons, we've got to have them.
Okay.
We need to have a Jamaican lobster,
No, you turn them into
It's a
vampires.
crab, for the record.
Jamaican crab.
Please.
Sorry, my bad. And we need to have somebody's eyes need to be pecked out. I don't care who. Somebody's got to have it happen.
Well, see, the thing about the Cinderella movie is that like half of it focuses on the mice and the cat, which is
Yeah,
like
it's kind of weird.
yeah, like Disney's attempt at Tom and Jerry. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the mice are bigger characters than Cinderella herself.
Gus.
Yeah, Gus.
Aw. I love Gus.
See, they did their job. They got you to love him, even though he didn't matter at all.
He mattered to me.
Yeah, that's the point.
He got the beads for Cinderella's dress,
No one cares.
which were ripped off anyway by the
Yeah.
stepmother.
I don't know. Maybe like we should probably start with. So I feel like Ariel's got a lot to work with. So maybe we should start with the kind of weird first off. Maybe Cinderella, because we just talked about how
Yeah.
she doesn't have much base to her. She has more base to her surrounding characters.
Well, in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie, right?
I like her better in the original, where see with the doves. It's complicated. So if you read the original story, it's where Cinderella, her mom dies, and she like goes to her grave every day to pray to her, basically.
Uh-huh.
Then like doves are sent down from her mother's spirit or whatever,
Oh.
and they're the ones who give her the dress.
Send me the doves that will smite my enemies.
Mommy, Mama,
Me.
doves.
Doves.
But yeah, that's where she
Doves
gets the
and
dress
power.
from and the carriage or whatever. In later versions, she does have a fairy godmother who gives her that. But in the original, like the first edition,
Interesting.
it's just the doves.
So her name kind of means like of cinders, right? Like,
Well, her real name is Ella, I think.
yeah.
But like her stepsisters called her Cinderella because
She's like she slept in the soot, basically.
well, she cleaned it up a lot.
Right,
So,
right.
I don't know.
So
I think
maybe
she also would fall asleep after being exhausted from her chores next to the fireplace a couple of times.
Yeah. So maybe like we should expand on that and just make her like a lava god.
From Moana.
Yeah.
That escalated really
I was
fast.
gonna say, we went from human to fire elemental
Of
in
the
like 2
cinders.
seconds.
Just burn stuff up.
Then it defeats the purpose of our war pigeons.
No.
No.
So is she still humble beginnings? Because that sure doesn't sound like it.
yeah.
Just
What if she
sort of-
gets that power from the fairy godmother
Wait, so you're basically
or the doves?
You're basically just describing Fire Princess from Adventure Time.
Haven't seen it,
But I've
but
never seen Adventure Time.
Okay.
Awkward.
Awkward. Also, did you know that the person who voices Finn in Adventure Time is from Boise, Idaho?
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, fun fact.
where am I?
I'm done. So what if with Cinderella being a fire goddess, what if instead of the prince coming to find her and her going to like his ball, what if she's like wrecking the kingdom and he has to stop her?
So she's the antagonist?
Yeah, she's like the anti-protagonist. Not the because she's still
Pardon?
she's still
Not the anti-hero.
she's still the anti-hero. She's still the good person, but also not because these lava powers and shit.
So she's the Punisher.
So she's like a reverse
Yeah.
Elsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
She could like her story could be identical up until she's given her powers by the fairy godmother, and instead of the fairy godmother giving her her slippers and her dress and her pumpkin carriage, she's like similar to the voodoo guy in
Princess and the Frog.
in Princess and the Frog, and it's like got a twist to it, and she's like a fire demon now.
But what would be the motivation for the godmother to give her that, though?
She needs some damn personal growth to grow into herself. She's not. She's just going off and running off to the prince's ball, trying to find herself in somebody else's definitions. She needs to find herself in who she is as a person.
And by doing that, give her very destructive powers that she needs to learn to control.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
What about
Does anyone
Rice
else have
friends?
input?
You lost.
What about Gus Gus?
She burns Gus
What's
Gus
up?
alive. Yeah.
Rise in the
Gus Gus.
flames.
Yeah.
The martyr to the cause.
Oh, goodness.
Imagining like Gus Gus with the Terminator move of the thumbs up.
With his tail.
Yeah.
So why does she want to go to the ball? So is it because she wants to destroy the castle?
No, I don't think that she wants to. Just like, it's just happening. She's got all these powers.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Elsa, you know?
So she has too much magic.
Yeah, too much.
Okay.
Too much of a good thing.
Magic.
What if the fairy
overflow.
godmother like doesn't know what she's doing and accidentally gives her the power?
I like that.
Yeah. Or the fairy godmother like still dresses her up for the ball, but gives her like the suit that Katniss had in the Hunger Games, where it's like on fire, and it's like a magical suit, and so like
I'm sorry.
she what?
That, like,
I didn't know that was a
scene-
thing.
Like that special effect for that scene, though, I saw it for the first time, and I was like, "What?
But yeah, like her suit is.
How you not light on fire with they?" I'm sorry.
But how do you not get burned though?
How should not get burned?
Yeah, her suit's like magical, and so she like can't control her magic power suit.
Is it tied to her emotions, maybe? Like whenever her emotions flare?
Yeah,
I like
so
how
when
you used the
she
word flare up in that.
when she like, oh my god,
She gets really turned on. She, like,
Where
so
are
that's
you
why
going
she has
with
to leave
this?
at the end.
Yep.
Oh, damn it, the bed caught on
She's-
fire again.
Yeah. Oh.
what?
Oh, wow, they made it all the way that far? Gee.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that's
Whoa.
different. That's way different canon. Whew. You're giving me the vapors.
Yeah,
Maybe it
I'm
should-
warm.
Maybe it should be like an asbestos slipper.
Yikes! A
Kills-
fire retardant suit.
Yes.
Kills the prince before he can find her.
Ooh.
You may have an insurance claim.
Call this number now.
No, but I don't know. Maybe we should make each of the princesses elemental.
Yeah,
What's
I like
Snow White's
that.
be then?
What?
Like Earth.
Dream.
No,
Light.
Earth.
Water.
Or something.
Oh no, because Ariel's
Controlling animals.
Yeah, with like the animal, the
Well, that's-
nature,
So yeah, she's basically just a player.
water. Earth.
plant Earth sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Or control over dwarves.
No, Logan, that's called a dictator.
I'm sorry, is dwarf an element?
It is now. You can determine the elements.
And welcome to Popular Apocrypha.
She waves her hands and the dwarfs like start like forming in a line. Like
Go and work in the mines for me.
oh jeez.
Yeah, we have no problems with that, free will or sentience
All right,
or
Mr.
anything.
Snip Snips
We're
is-
fine.
Snip, snip.
Just you're gonna have to cut that out.
Oh, I see.
No, we're good.
That's my editing personality. It's
Mr.
called
Snip,
Mr. Snip Snip.
Mr. Snip Snips.
What
I
is
love
happening?
that. I love that. I'm gonna take that.
What's that? You went on a slavery tirade for about 2 seconds there, got sniff.
We'll come back to Snow White.
Yeah. Let's do but yeah. I don't know, maybe elemental based?
So
like it.
are we including Elsa in this canon where she's
Oh.
still ice
Right.
baby?
But can Little Mermaid also be water?
Oh
Can
yeah,
we slot in that?
of course,
Okay.
of course. But she loses her water once she goes on land.
Right.
She loses that power over it.
So she was an elemental and then becomes no longer an elemental.
Right. But gains an eternal soul.
Exactly.
It's like
That's what
Patrick.
matters.
Patrick's like, it's mayonnaise. It's dwarf an element.
Mayonnaise and element.
Control over mayonnaise.
Oh jeez.
I'm down with that. Cinderella controls mayonnaise.
No.
Oh,
Pardon?
that's the worst superpower.
Maybe she controls pumpkins.
Oh.
What if she's the plant one?
What if she's secretly the headless horseman?
I am the gourd queen. Gourd.
I am the Lord of Gourds.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, maybe we should move on from Cinderella.
Okay.
Okay, so Cinderella is a fire elemental.
Yes.
What is Snow White? Is she
Wait.
an earth elemental?
I have a question about Snow White.
Do you?
Yes. Specifically about Snow White.
Snow White's a dream eater.
So if we were
Ooh.
I kind of like that.
Pardon?
son.
I like that.
Dream eater.
Sorry, actually,
D&D.
Okay, so at the time of the story of Snow White, white skin was considered a mark of beauty.
Right.
What beauty standard would fit a more modern version? And then what would her new name be?
okay.
Would it be hips wide? Would it be
me.
Would it be
Pardon me.
toast tan? Would it be
What?
I don't know. I'm just asking, like, what are modern
lies
standards
better.
of beauty? Modern superficial standards of beauty
Yeah.
that she would have.
So it's snow. So precipitation
Well-
plus color equals name.
Well, I was just
So,
thinking, like,
what have you got?
Add or thing that is like it, and then the color or like adjective or whatever.
Rain black.
Ooh, you know there was a
Precipitation plus color is the name. Snow white. Rain black. What have you got?
What's
you know there was a
Sleet yellow.
there was an African American version of Snow White
Really?
called Coal Black and the Seven Dwarfs, which apparently was a musical done all with jazz.
What?
I kind of want to see it.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That
Yeah.
That's
does.
amazing.
Whoa! Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna look that up. Give me a sec.
Does Sleepy play the sax?
I don't know.
I feel like Sleepy should play the sax.
Is that what we're gonna call her from now on? Is Sleepy?
No,
no,
Sleepy's
the dwarf.
Oh,
Bruh?
Excuse me.
Good question. I feel like
Because I feel like if we change her enough, we have to change her name.
Right.
Because then she would no longer be like
Exactly.
Snow White would be her defining characteristic.
I'm like, modern standard of beauty. I feel like thigh gap is one.
Begone thought.
Thigh gap. Yeah, I'd say curves.
Thigh Gap and the Seven Dwarfs.
That sounds like
like a terrible
not a
porno.
children's movie. Wait, say John Boyega again. Okay, we've hit our record.
Yeah, yay.
Woo! Ding, 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 ding.
hey,
Somebody
it wasn't me. Can we just note that neither of those was me? Thank you.
Somebody burped
Wait,
now.
you didn't mention Boyega before this point?
Well,
Not
not during the podcast.
Yeah,
He mentioned it all the time. There we go.
There it is.
There
we go.
it is.
Perfect skin, like fit, thin figure, washboard abs.
Popular Instagram following.
Jake Paul.
What?
What?
Jake
No.
Hell no.
is
No.
the new Snow White.
No. No. Don't do it.
No.
Well, okay.
I don't know, I'm not good at beauty. I mean, look at me.
Shut your dirty mouth. That's a voluptuous beard you have.
We can come back to her physical characteristics, I guess, later. So I did have a question. Actually, all three kind of apply to this. They tend to be defined by a lot of aloofness and frailty,
Yeah.
which I get it. They're teenagers. They're kind of
Are they?
wanting
Yeah,
more. Yeah,
they're all
I think all of them.
Oh,
are
I saw
teenagers.
that chart once where it like showed the ages of all. It's kind of disturbing.
Yeah,
Isn't Snow
El-
White 14?
something like that.
Yeah.
Elsa's like the only one who's of age.
Why are you living with 7 dwarfs?
I think it's like Pocahontas and Mulan are the oldest,
Really weird.
other than Elsa. Other than like the more modern stuff, or the older of the original.
Because Ariel is 16.
Yeah.
She's 15 in the original story.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. But also, should they take a more active role in their surroundings? Should
Yeah.
They, should
Yes.
they be more... Because, I mean, like, none of them actually, like, attack the antagonist.
They don't really do
That's
anything.
one thing I noticed. It's like,
They breathe.
Eric kills Ursula,
Occasionally move.
the evil queen dies by falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Cliff.
Just
Becomes the
pops into
cliff.
existence. Thank
You're
you,
right,
Cliff.
But yeah, so they should... I feel like they should take a more active role in
Yeah.
taking out the bad guy.
I agree.
And maybe their main motivation shouldn't be to get the guy. You know, I kind of like how Little Mermaid was
Preach
like...
it.
Wait,
Sister.
So wait,
What?
you're basically trying to say that, like, trying to make it like the new Alice in Wonderland, where she's more active, but still her actor sucks because she doesn't really do anything.
Well, Alice in Wonderland was kind of a... It's a weird story.
It's a story for another time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the Johnny Depp movie where she actually at the end fights.
Oh, the Jabberwocky? Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that actress. Oh.
I mean, if we make them fire elementals, they can have more power to
True.
fight
True.
their antagonists.
I mean, I'm thinking like... Did you guys see Enchanted with
Yeah.
Amy Adams?
Yeah.
Where she
Yeah.
literally fights the dragon at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was thinking, like, why don't they, you know, fight him, have an epic sword fight at the end?
I don't know. Maybe they
Firefight.
Are they elementals or are they benders?
No.
No.
We're not going into the Avatar universe. They are similar to benders, but they
Okay.
cannot be called benders.
Okay.
Due to trademark reasons.
Hashtag
That'd be
response.
cool if, like, I don't know, I'm kind of, like, we haven't touched on Ariel yet, but, like, jumping around, it'd be cool if, like, Cinderella had a Count of Monte Cristo-esque, like, final sword fight with the
Why don't you
the
just make them into
stepmother.
knights that have powers of the elements?
Knights?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool because have any of you guys played Kingdom Hearts?
And all their
A little
motifs
bit.
and all their
Yeah, too
armor
much, though.
motifs and stuff like that are all based off their element.
Kingdom Hearts
That's
is like
cool.
the actual Disney princesses have these like powers in the universe. Like
Oh.
their hearts of like their pure hearts or whatever like fight the darkness. Like anyway, but like to have them all connected in this string of their knights of this like world or this element, that'd be pretty cool.
Too bad we're not getting a third one of those.
Yeah. I miss Kingdom Hearts. It was so
They
good.
re-released 1 and 2 at like HD remasters on
Yeah.
Xbox One and
And
PlayStation 4.
then Dream Drop
No.
Distance.
I'm gonna
Let's move
say
on. Move on.
Anyway,
I was honestly expecting Anna to have
podcast,
fire
get over
powers in Frozen. I really wanted Anna to have fire powers
yeah.
to contrast with Elsa's ice
No, I did
powers.
too.
Yeah. Or
I
like
really wanted
at least
that.
light, like spring.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah,
yeah.
Because like she represented summer, Elsa represented winter.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess what would these princesses represent as far as like a season or like a time of life?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like Cinderella is fall. I mean, especially the pumpkins and stuff.
As a season.
Oh,
Cinderella
yeah.
Like-
yeah.
If we're like just
Fall.
thinking of seasons, like you've got the pumpkin, you've got the ball, which is often I mean, think about like a school dance. It's often in the fall. So that's what I think when I think of Cinderella would be more a fall season. What powers or whatever she would have from that, I don't know. The ability to
Kill things.
decay
Yeah.
plants, I don't know.
She's kind of
releases like a miasma on the world.
she's kind of representative of like natural justice too, or like karma, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
balance.
Like good things happen to good people.
yeah. Or like wait, and then like your time
Patience.
will come. Kind of justice in a weird way.
And working hard.
Yeah, hard work too.
Yeah.
And
So, Batman?
Nope,
No.
no, she doesn't have a butler.
She is the butler.
She is the
Yeah.
butler.
She's the maid.
Yeah. Snow White,
She'd be spring.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Spring,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
and then like
Although I don't want to be too like they have to represent a season because
Right.
we're all out now.
Yeah.
So should they all be able to like control something?
I
Should
think
they all
so.
have magical powers outside of what they already have?
Yeah, I think they
If
should
they have any, besides
singing,
being a mermaid.
Singing is a power. I think. I think. I think they should have powers and like some kind of something that connects them all.
Oh, so they're like in an expanded universe. They're
Yeah.
like all in the same.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
The princess universe. We're making our own like MCU.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there's already like a Disney confirmed connected universe between Little Mermaid, Tarzan,
Mhm.
Frozen,
Mm-hmm.
Tangled, and debatably Hercules.
Oh yeah.
Let's not
Because-
forget about that Dooku though.
What?
Huh?
The Dark Universe thing that Universal is gonna try to do.
Oh, with
Oh,
like
yeah.
the mummy and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
The Dooku.
Is that what they're calling it?
Dark Universe something like it was Dark Universe Cinematic Universe, the Dooku.
Rip Christopher Lee. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know.
What if Cinderella controls plants? And what if
Okay.
Snow White controls animals? And what if Ariel controls water?
what if they? Because I like that idea, but what if Cinderella doesn't get her powers until the fairy godmother
Right,
gives them to
right.
her?
That's what I was thinking too.
And I don't know what Snow
So
White.
they all have a source, like an external source.
Snow
at some
White gets
point.
her powers from the dwarves.
Or
I
it's
mean,
like it's always
yeah.
in her, and then it activates when she's like faced with death, like with the sleeping apple.
Or with like the huntsman earlier on. Like that. It's
Yeah.
maybe it starts with that.
Something like
Could
that.
be. Yep. And then Little Mermaid, because she's a mermaid, has magic powers
Right.
over water. She can talk to fish. She's Aquaman.
or the Percy Jackson.
Yeah, there's an expanded universe that the Little Mermaid is actually what's her? Is it? I don't remember what her name is. That's married to Aquaman,
Oh, I forget her name.
Oh yeah.
combining the
starts with
DC
an M.
and the Disney universes, and now that Marvel is also Disney.
I like this view though that like the different princesses have control over different parts of nature.
See, what if, I was thinking, what if like Snow White is like earth or rock? Because I was thinking like the connection with the dwarves and their
I kind of
mining.
like that.
Yeah, I do too.
And
So
maybe
what's-
that's what attracts them to her.
Cinderella air with like the birds and the blood pigeons.
I don't know. Cinderella doesn't really have many defining characteristics because she's such a passive character in that movie.
Yeah.
And in the story, frankly.
What if she is?
What if
she's with the dead? What?
with the dead. Because in the original story, she communes with her dead mom.
She's
She's a Black Lantern.
Sure.
Is that what they do?
Mm-hmm. There's different Lantern Corps.
No, I knew that.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
like
didn't
the
know
red,
that's what they
yellow,
did.
Black
green.
Lanterns are like
Is there
power
blue?
over the dead.
I was
Blue
thinking,
is hope.
what if Cinderella isn't a with the nature theme?
Mhm.
What if Cinderella not controls, but her power is related to humanity? That she, without knowing it, has like some sort of like mental abilities toward other people, and that is causing the strife between her and her family, and nobody knows that that's what it is.
Like what kind of mental powers?
I'm not sure. Just a thought.
I don't know. This is weird. I know. Like, but what if like we go even bigger and we do like Snow White kind of like talks to the animals, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like she's like life,
Okay.
and then from the original stories, Ariel like returns to the sea or whatever and chooses to die. She's death,
Okay.
and then like maybe Snow White is like
I mean Cinderella.
time. Or yeah, Cinderella is like time because it's like things turn around. Like give it time and like your opportunity will come, or like it'll turn around. So they're like,
Or like she can have limited magical powers for a certain time, so like until midnight.
Time abilities.
mhm.
You know, that makes the most sense out of everything for Cinderella. Time,
Yeah.
and life, especially with, being, the apple and then coming back to life sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, no, I like that. And then death, especially with the original story of The Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Although she technically doesn't. Oh.
Right, but...
You could argue that she dies. I was
Yeah.
considering at the beginning putting like the main character dies. I was like, you could argue for Little Mermaid though.
Clickbait.
You know what I mean? And then we make them all like those crazy knights.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Or if you want to go with the
Hey, that's pretty
H.P.
good.
Lovecraft and make Ariel into a goddess of madness, since everything on his stuff centers around the ocean.
Blip, 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 blip.
We could do death and madness.
With Sebastian.
What's the difference?
Sebastian, the harbinger of death. The omen.
I believe it. Yeah.
Oh crap, is that singing crab again?
Yep.
Protect your kids.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
That crab's coming for them.
Well, okay, I think we're good. We've got abilities and a bit more, sort of more backstory there, a little bit. What else you got, Logan?
You could return really quick to
The physical appearance
Yeah.
question?
or we could also tackle the context question of like, because we wanted to change how they defend for themselves,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
True. Do we need a prince in any / all of them?
That's a great question.
Or
What do you think?
Does the prince should the prince like pull an enchanted and be the damsel in distress, so to speak?
With Cinderella with time, what if there's more than one prince across time? And that's a struggle that she consistently has, is, feelings for more than one person across the millennia that across whatever time period she is in.
You're making her powers a lot
Yeah.
grander.
God
than,
powers.
like TARDIS powers here.
And what if Snow White constantly struggles with bringing her partner, be it prince or otherwise, back to life
Ooh.
over and over again? And
Huh.
what if Ariel? Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Kills the prince over and over.
Yeah, with madness, death
yeah.
and madness,
Oh, yeah, 'cause
keeps killing the prince.
She chose not to kill the prince, right? And then,
Right.
I mean, I would argue that she's punished for it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
sure. You get a soul after 300 years of service. Cool. Like,
Well, as opposed to ceasing to exist.
but I mean, like those whatever the celestial beings are like,
Freedom. Release. Just give me a release.
they're like, oh, cool. You earned the chance to get a soul. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be pretty bitter about it.
Yeah, fuck you, aliens.
Yeah. So I'd be like, she could like lure princes to their death.
Oh, she becomes a siren?
retribution.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Whoa. And so then, what's cool?
Headcanon there.
But what's cool about what you're saying, Logan, is that now the princes become what is acted upon, not the princesses. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
switched,
Whoa.
which I like better.
Ooh.
Cool.
So who
Yeah.
are the princes in them then?
John Boyega. See,
like,
now
You're gonna
that's
name
my
drop that
bad.
at every
Pardon?
opportunity.
That was my bad.
Reset the clock.
We could do something where, because they're connected by knighthood, they're also connected by princes at any given time.
what if the princes are also part of like a connected knighthood, but like
Yeah.
they've been at odds, kind of a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing?
Or like you get a crazy thing where like Snow White and Ariel get in this battle where they're like trying to kill this, like she's trying to kill the prince, but she's trying to save the prince, but they're
They're trying to kill each other's princes.
yeah. Oh. It's chess. It's Prince chess.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah.
They all exist in the same plane. Yeah.
Oh,
The antagonists become the others.
Just the pawns.
so the princes are the antagonists.
The
now.
princes are the others' antagonists.
Oh,
It's like Game of Thrones up in here.
oh,
Disney Game of Thrones confirmed.
I know. We took like really thick stories and made them even more complicated.
Yeah, and Ursula's just like, and like the stepmother, they're just like,
just popcorn.
what's happening?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, no, I like that, and yeah, and that makes them the acted upon, and they're still villains, but not really, because they're also the lovers in the other stories.
It's not as
Much more
simple as
complicated.
heroes and villains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, what happens to? I mean, we're not talking about them, but what happens to the villains in each story?
Are they still even there?
Yeah, right.
Do we even need them?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm still working to understand this. Okay, so
Same.
so like
same.
Snow White and Ariel, right?
Yeah.
Their princes are the antagonists,
Like one of
They're-
the other princes is their antagonist.
but another prince is their actual prince. They're
Yes.
Prince Charming.
Yeah. So say for Cinderella, Prince Charming, is her prince.
Okay,
That
so they're
she-
fighting against each other, or are they fighting against the other
a
prince?
different prince. Is what I was thinking.
So Ariel and Snow White are not fighting each other, but they are fighting kind of like enemy of my enemy kind of thing.
They're fighting each other's princes.
So wouldn't they be at odds at one
Wouldn't
point?
it?
Yeah.
You'll have to wait to
So-
find out.
Quick question: do we want to make? Are they
I don't
entangled
know.
because of?
Tangled, other Disney movie.
Yeah. Are
Tangled in Rapunzel's hair.
Are they tangled or intertwined because of their love for other people's princes, or because
Ooh.
like they like sponsor a prince or whatever, and that prince like is vying for power among the other princes? Or do we not even want to make it about love anymore?
That's what I was thinking.
I
Like,
choose
is their
you,
main,
Prince Charming.
but like, is their main motivation like to marry the prince, or should it be something bigger, like Ariel's, which is to gain a soul, or like Cinderella? Or Cinderella is basically to have a chance to go to the ball, but then falls in love with the prince in the process. And Snow White was just basically to get away from the queen and live a normal life until the prince found her sleeping and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in the actual story, he doesn't kiss her. He,
Smacks her?
no, he,
Wake up!
no, he,
Does
he,
ice water.
he carries the coffin up, and then that's when the piece of poisoned apple falls out of Snow White's mouth.
Right. Yeah.
And then, she comes back to life.
So she was just choking.
Yeah.
Because with
Hardcore.
the presence of the magic to keep her dead.
So, let's teach the dwarves first aid, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of
Remove
the
the
way.
obstruction from the
CPR.
choking person's
Two
throat.
fingers.
Like, they work in a mine. They should know how to, how to take care of people.
I kind of like the element of love, and what's nice about it is if the princes are in the same universe, then and if the motivation is love, like love for these princes from like these super preternatural beings, then you get conflict of like, because Cinderella exists throughout time, like she's a time
Right.
person, but then you also have Snow White who kind of breaks time because she brings people back to
Right.
life, and then you have Ariel who is just an antagonist because she ends life, and you have like, you know what I mean, like
So-
Yeah.
like Ariel's version of love is like just
Joining
bring
her
them
in
to
death.
me
Yeah.
in death, you know what I mean, and so
Yeah.
like love is still the basis of all these stories, not marriage but love, and they're at conflict because of their very natures.
So you almost have like a Greek god thing coming
Yeah.
out to this.
I
So we
guess.
did end up
Good
with
point.
god powers.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
But like these powerful beings going after like, I assume normal beings or normal humans.
Yeah, I assume the princes are just like
Yeah.
Sade.
Regular
Dudes.
Just
Just a prince playing his
Saw, get my mountain dude.
just a prince playing his flute randomly with his dog and then throwing the flute out into the ocean. That's fine.
Then this goddess of death rises out of the ocean.
Stop polluting my ocean.
Aquaman. Yeah.
You know, I like that. This got really complicated really fast. Kudos to you, audience, if you followed along with that.
Yeah.
Also, if you can write some stories about these kinds of characters, that'd be awesome.
We might even come back to this because I still have trouble understanding it all.
A revisit to the
Yeah.
Maybe we'll need to
can.
work through it again in the post show with like a whiteboard or something.
So in this reality,
the corkboard like lines.
Yeah.
in this reality, they meet together in this alternate reality, which is not part of any other reality.
It's a conspiracy,
It's like
man.
DC, right?
We'll string up Christmas lights like Crazy
Yeah.
Mom from Stranger Things.
Yeah, there we go.
Dan, do you have anything you want to add? Or anything you think we need to fix or change? Or
You lost me a little bit on the political intrigue stuff, but
Yeah, this is.
not
the
really.
overthrowing? Yeah.
I like it.
This went from
It's
Disney
just
levels to HBO levels in like
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Heckin' yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
this would be a good book series, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
At least eight books.
8
long.
books.
That's what they
8
when you
books,
make a
okay.
movie, you have to split the last one into 3 movies instead of 2.
At least
Or-
2.
Correct. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then a 4th with commentary.
For sure.
Before it releases in theaters with commentary.
Director's cut, which makes
Why
it
hasn't
6
anybody done that?
Right?
They should totally do that.
What,
Has there ever been a re-release with commentary
Wait,
on
do you
it?
mean like the director is in the theater with the microphone giving commentary?
Live commentary? Yeah.
I think
This is where I shot this scene.
there are those,
So there was a little problem with this scene because the camera fell
The camera went.
so I think there are showings of movies, like there's those Fathom events.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think there's showings of movies where they do a commentary track as the movie is playing,
okay.
but they don't do that very often because I don't think a lot of people like to go to a movie theater and listen to the director for like 3 hours go,
Well,
and in this scene,
if like we've already seen the movie, then I would
took us
love to see that.
16 hours to shoot.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't say.
Any like aesthetic
Any other
things,
things?
like last minute like aesthetics you want to change? Do you want to make Ariel a human bottom and a fish top?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
normal
No, half and
mermaid
half.
or reverse mermaid?
No, half and half.
Oh, it's like the right
half,
side is-
left half the body versus right half the body.
Oh, why are you doing it like you're doing it laterally, man? Just flip it on its head and like, have the front half of her body,
And then the back,
and then
her back
is
half,
just fish.
or the other way around.
Oh,
No, Logan's not.
Oh.
yeah. I don't, probably not. No, I don't like that. We could do.
That fish ass.
Do fishes have? No, they don't.
No.
Question? No.
I mean, unless you're like, I guess playing some like the new Zelda games, maybe.
It depends on your fish interpretation.
It depends on if you have a fetish for that kind of thing.
Ooh, I do not.
Throwing that out there.
What about?
So Cinderella was always marked by, you know, like the ashes, like literally, like physically, like she was covered in like dirt and muck because of all the stuff that her family made her do. Is
Right.
that still the case? Or is
Oh.
because we were talking about like the like knights and stuff with like them having armor that's decked out in their, you know,
Yeah.
in their
Motif.
motif, yeah.
Well, she's time now, right? So we could do like.
GG, bro.
I'm sorry I couldn't hold on. I needed to empty my body of fluids.
You missed the conversation about fish ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
So do you want to see the fish ass?
What does a fish ass look? It's just like
Answer that exact question.
you know that like string of poop that comes out.
Oh yeah, because it's in the water, so it's
Yeah.
just in that like.
Like that goldfish have.
Well, I was just gonna say anyone who has played enough Zelda that has that weird fetish going on.
Oh, with the Zoras?
Yeah,
I mean, Mifa. I mean, you know.
that's one sexy fish.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, so okay. To recap,
yeah.
we have Snow White, who can control animals. Is that no? She's
No.
over life.
Life.
And you have Cinderella, who can control time. That's right. And then Little Mermaid, who has control over death.
Maybe madness somewhere.
All in the same universe, all fighting against each other's princes,
Right.
searching for love in all the wrong places.
I mean, but when you kind of like, I don't know. I was
Through time and life and death.
right because life and death are components of time.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
But because she has control over time, she is automatically conjoined and at odds with both other princesses.
Precisely.
So they're kind of rivals.
Sort of.
Okay.
But maybe in the
They
end,
need each
they can
other,
become
but
friends.
also don't want
Or-
each other.
Are they all immortal then, or?
Maybe they're beyond immortal.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know what that means. I'm just saying
Metamortal?
shit.
Metamortal.
That's shit.
metamortal.
You take your metamortal
Supermortal.
today?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add?
But we did decide, I think, right? That Little Mermaid is the front half of her body is human and the back half of her body is fish.
I retract my earlier statement.
You're losing me on that one.
But does she become a human in return for her fish powers?
Oh.
Her death powers?
Yeah, I think like there are certain parts of the story that need to remain
Yeah.
Yeah.
like until they like their flip into their power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
So-
come across. They're not born with these powers.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone.
So they're like still learning how to have
Okay.
their powers. Too.
Okay. I see.
Mhm.
That's good.
Powers / curses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blessings / curses.
There's multiple layers to this onion.
Wow. Yeah. Layers.
Layers.
Fucking old.
Now we've mentioned Shrek.
Donkey.
I mean, all we're missing is Nick Cage, and we've hit all of the big memes.
layers.
Okay. Well, I
Any-
think that's it.
Wrap up questions.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like we
What's
could
your
go on for
opinion on
hours about this, but
I know. I mean, we might talk about this in the post show, but
Yeah.
there is like a possibility that maybe some of these canons need revisiting.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That could happen.
maybe one at a time. Maybe just in a separate. Maybe adding other Disney princesses into the fold.
We've laid
Yeah.
the groundwork.
Yeah.
And let us know. Let us know if you think that, we're confusing as fuck and need to revisit any of these. So.
I'd like to let you know that. That's my opinion.
If you're looking for nothing non-confusing, this is not the podcast for you.
Yeah. Look at the Scooby Doo episode.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
one's not confusing.
Which is
Yeah.
surprisingly one of our most popular. Fun fact.
Well, it's a good one.
So you should look at that if you haven't. Or
Yes.
not look at it, but listen to it.
And look at it.
Sure, somehow.
Anyway. Silence. So, if that wraps us up, then I'm talking like Sean Connery. That's not Sean Connery. That's William Shatner. Wow. All right.
William Shatner.
I am prepared. So,
What
with
does your shirt say?
my shirt, it says Planet Earth turns slowly. It's
that a band?
It's an Owl City shirt.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Owl City's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool. He just
Hashtag
released,
no spawn.
he released a new song.
Did he?
Uh-huh. He's going to release a new album next year called Cinematic. Dude, if you want to sponsor me, I would totally do that. Come to Idaho.
Please, God.
Okay, so to wrap us off, I don't even know what that's meaning. Anyway, so
Wrap us off.
whatever. To end this podcast, I'd like to take this time to remind listeners that Audible.com is offering a free audiobook and 30-day free trial membership for you to check out the massive library of audiobooks that they have to offer. In the theme of this podcast, I'd like to recommend the original folk and fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm by the Brothers Grimm and translated by Jack Zipes, narrated by Joel Richards and Cassandra Campbell, so that you can listen to some of the original fairy tales like Snow White and Cinderella, but also other classics like Rapunzel and Hansel and Gretel. To get your free audiobook as well as your 30-day free trial, go to audibletrial.com/popapoc. That's POPAPOC. Again, that's audibletrial.com/popapoc. And thank you for joining us on this episode. We'd like to plug our social media because we can do that. Follow us on Twitter at Popapoc Podcast. That's POPAPOC Podcast. On Instagram, that is our handle as well, right? And on Facebook, you can look us up as well, facebook.com/Popapoc Podcast. Check us out on our site, which is just popapoc.com. You can also check us out on YouTube. We have a lot of funny videos that we can't stop talking about, especially our Confess My Love playthrough.
Yeah.
Go check that out.
And Hatful Boyfriend.
And Hauntiful Boyfriend,
If you
of
want to see
course.
blood pigeons, I mean.
Yeah. Carve it into your soul!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing I blocked from my memory. So go check that out. Just search Popular Apocrypha on YouTube. We don't have a custom URL yet, but if you get us to 100 subscribers, we'll be able to get that for you.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can check us out on, if you aren't already on any of these sites, you can check us out on iTunes, on Google Play, on Stitcher, on Blueberry,
Podbay, working on Pod FM.
pretty much anywhere you can find
Anything.
podcasts, you'll find us there. Just search Popular Apocrypha. Now, for the fun part, roll for the next character.
Have you ever heard about SoundCloud?
I can put us on SoundCloud if you guys would like that.
Yeah.
The first episode is on SoundCloud, actually, but I can put other ones on there if the listeners would like that. If that's easier for you guys.
Logan and I can explain that more in the post show.
Yeah!
Da-da-da-da-da.
Well, we're not there yet.
I'm excited. I'm also anxious.
For the next one?
Yeah.
It depends on who it is.
Well, you're just kind of anxious.
Yep. That is
Okay.
correct.
So,
I mean, not to rain on your parade, but thanks for reminding me. What are we doing?
so this is an interesting one.
Okay.
Because this is more attacking.
Attaché?
Attaché. This is more attacking a trope than a specific character.
Okay.
It's the generic hot girl from horror movies.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
This will be good.
Yeah.
We might need to watch some horror movies before we do the next episode.
Bruh, yeah.
Some generic horror movies.
Yeah.
Some bad horror
that
movies.
have the generic hot girls. as-
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, they're-
Halloween.
It.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Not so much.
I'm just gonna let that one say it.
So Beverly's 15. Anyway, Morty. So second time I brought up Morty.
You want to watch a
Anyway,
really good one, Cabin in the Woods.
oh, that's a good one
I
too.
haven't seen it.
Oh, it's great.
Some good recommendations for before our next one.
Yes.
For you guys to
Contact
watch.
us on our social media, on our Twitter, on our website, or email us at popularapocrypha@gmail.com.
Yeah.
There we go.
Give us some facets of hot girl trope in horror movies that you'd like us to look
Yes.
Yep.
And tell us what you thought of this podcast, or that you thought it sucked. That's still feedback, and we'll see you in the next podcast. So, goodbye, bye.
at. Bye.
Do you want to harmonize?
For now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, I can't fit in the hole.